We all set?
Yeah, man. I am good to go. Steady.
Fantastic. All right. Welcome to another episode of Going Topicless, the long overdue podcast that has disappeared for the past 3 months, but miraculously we have found our way back into the internet. And oh boy, many things have occurred since the last podcast. When were we last together, Cameron? When did we last do this?
Pre-marriage. I was
Pre.
not married the
Ah,
last time that
yes,
we recorded. I am now
yes.
officially a married man and am officially off the market from all those ladies out there that were trying to get some.
And there
But
goes half our viewership.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how
No.
was it?
It's been a very long time since we recorded. I this is more or less an emergency podcast because I am too fired up right now
I saw
in the
your
world.
Twitter
We will
rant.
we will get to it. We'll get to it. Let's talk about happy things first.
Yes, marriage.
Um,
Marriage, how's it going? How's the
I have
wedding?
been officially married for like a month and like 4 days now. So we got married on Halloween. The wedding was beautiful. She was beautiful. She's always beautiful. It was a fun time. It was a small thing. Like, well, I say small, but like there's like 100 people total, uh, guests and like wedding party. Um, no, it was good though. I mean, it was all great. We left for our honeymoon the day, the morning after the wedding. We went to St. Lucia, which was
Ooh.
beautiful, down in the islands, down in the Caribbean. I drank way too much rum. uh,
I
I really
expect
did.
nothing less.
I probably drank 3 or 4 bottles of rum just myself in like the week we were there. Um, and no, yeah, that was a real fun time. We stayed at a beautiful resort. The locals were wonderful. Everybody that worked at the resort was fantastic. I would highly recommend um going there for vacation. I would definitely go for a second vacation to the island. It was beautiful. Excuse me. So that was great. Upon getting back to the States, we got stateside and tested positive for COVID, both
Oh, fuck.
my wife and I. It was um, it was lackluster to say the least. Um, the we first noticed our symptoms when we got back home, like the day we got back home. um, the first symptom was like the loss of taste, loss of smell. Both my wife and I both had that. So that was weird, like not being able to taste food for a little while. I had one day where I was like I actually felt sick, but it was like a 24-hour flu. I took some
Hmm.
NyQuil, I slept all day. I woke up the next day and I was ready to go back to work.
All right.
But of course, we had to go through the whole quarantine per, you know, Center of Disease Control guidelines and all that kind of shit. So we did our quarantines. We're both back to work. We're both good to go. Um, like I said, I mean, I got my taste back like 4 or 5 days like after I noticed that it was even gone. My wife just took like a few days extra after that to like get her senses back. We're both fine.
Right on.
Hashtag COVID survivors. I
I've
don't know.
heard
I'm
mixed
fucking sick of
reviews
it.
about
I
COVID.
know,
Some
I
people
know,
have
and
said that
I
it's like
understand that.
nothing,
I
and then other
understand
people
that.
have said that it's like the worst feeling they've ever had. So,
I understand that, and I'm not here to minimize it or call it a hoax or any of this other bullshit because I understand there are some serious cases. However, let's look at majorities here. And one of the largest majorities, one of the largest, we've had two pretty large majority victories in the last month, actually, here in the United States. Uh, first being uh, current sitting president Donald Trump was quote unquote projected to be defeated by now being called President elect Joe Biden by a vast majority of votes. Whether anybody believes that those are fraudulent votes or not, that's not the podcast that we're not here to talk about that. Nobody cares about that. Because guess what? We don't make enough money to fucking care about that. Um, However, there was another large majority vote that took place in the House of Representatives today within the United States, and that vote was for the MORE Act, which
The
the
More Act.
MORE Act is the the MORE Act stands for MOR stands for the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act. So this bill went to the House of Representatives today within the United States, and it was voted on. Now, just to summarize the bill, uh, the headline to the bill is that if this bill passes the House, which it did successfully today, and then goes on to pass the Senate, it could be signed into law, and this bill would decriminalize marijuana within the United States. Now,
Thumbs up.
don't get it twisted. Decriminalized and legalized are two completely different words here. And it's important to remember this because just because something is decriminalized does not mean that it will be, federally regulated and controlled, and thus making it fully legal for use recreationally among all 50 states. Meaning more so that businesses aren't necessarily just being able to pop up just and dispensaries all over the place because of the decriminalization. Decriminalization is much more common in several more states than the current, I think, 15 states within the United States have fully legalized marijuana use for the recreational level. Something that has been done in Canada at the federal level for, I think, 2 or 3 years now. 2 years? 2018, I believe.
2018 would have been.
Yeah,
It was. I was in the middle of state, so I think it was late 2018.
yeah. It
Yes.
was during, I believe, your last big election.
Yeah.
Um, and so, just to continue to summarize this bill, it would replace the statutory references to marijuana and marijuana with cannabis, aka the government will no longer use the word marijuana, which was created as a racial connotation to Mexicans because a lot of people aren't even aware of this. Marijuana should not be spelled, it wasn't originally spelled with the letter J. However, the government during the 1950s used the word marijuana with a J as a connotation of Juan, a very popular Mexican name, to then use the term marijuana, and they sprouted propagandic advertisements all over the fucking place relating marijuana and Mexicans and how these Mexicans who use marijuana are here to take your white women away from your families. So it was all fucking racist to begin with, and it's fucking sickening. And people don't even realize that because all they think about is how it's the fucking devil's lettuce and that nobody should fucking use this shit. Sorry. That was the first bullshit rant on the war on drugs. We're just getting started, baby. Buckle on down. Um, it would so this bill would require the Bureau of Labor Statistics to regularly publish demographic data on cannabis business owners and employees. So they would actually be required to, statistically speaking, at like the federal level, to recognize cannabis workers, cannabis business owners within stat lines of uh, labor statistics. That's just to sum that shit up. Establishes a trust fund to support various programs and services for individuals and businesses in communities impacted by the war on drugs. This is ginormous. The amount of rundown communities, the amount of fucking uh, Section 8 housing and quote unquote ghettos within the United States have substantially been affected by the war on drugs in the United States for the last 50 years. Uh, I mean, it's without a doubt, no questions asked, that the war on drugs has created such racial division within the United States to the fact of where, let me gather my thoughts real quick. One second. The authorities, the police, you know, the feds,
Hmm.
target low income communities. They target them for drug use. Not that drug use is not occurring in in substantially white communities, in wealthy communities. Drug use occurs everywhere. However, who's affected by the police state for the war on drugs? Low income, statistically speaking, majority minority individuals within the United States. And that's why communities are broken. We could potentially, I'm sure there's a correlation between single parent households and drug use due to incarceration, the incarceration occurring because of drug use, drug possession, drug distribution. And there, I'm sure I didn't look up any stats. Somebody fact check me on it, but I would put a lot of money on that there is some sort of correlation between low income communities, quote unquote impoverished communities, which could potentially also be known as minority communities. You know, the inner ghettos of like Chicago, Compton, LA, um, like fucking in New York, like the slums of New York. I don't say slums in a bad way. I just say it's lower socioeconomic communities that have been negatively affected by the war on drugs by targeting from the police due to drug use, whereas fucking little Tommy and Timmy who are living over in, fucking Beverly Hills are probably also doing drugs. However, the police don't patrol their neighborhood. They stand at the fucking gates of their neighborhood to make sure that nobody else comes into the neighborhood.
Hmm.
Whereas police presence is higher in lower socioeconomic communities, resulting in a higher discovery of drug use, distribution, production, yada yada, meaning more incarcerations for drug related incidents, hence destroying families because you have incarcerated a parent, potential parent, meaning more single parent households, meaning a continued cycle of drug use, drug distribution, drug production, single parent households, single mothers, no fathers, yada yada. The cycle
Yeah.
continues. Uh, it's all a minority uh compression scheme.
Yeah, and like the
I
problem
don't
is
know if
too
that's the right word.
with the way this is set up is it's created a weird social construct in that like whenever you think of a relatively more poor, more run down neighborhood, you immediately think of like the families that have been, torn apart. You immediately think about drugs and all that shit, and then you look at like the Hollywood neighborhoods that are all pristine and white, and you immediately think, oh yeah, these are all the clean people. They don't do any of that stuff. But in reality, they're just like you and me. They do just as many drugs, if not more, because, Hollywood money, gotta do all that
And and
cocaine.
I'm not going I'm not going to sit here and say on this podcast I'm not admitting to being a drug user. I am an advocate for civil rights. I am tired of the government taxing, imprisoning, and controlling the lives of the American people in the United States. And the war on drugs has done that for 50 years. And it will continue to do it for another 50 unless we actually see some fucking change. And I'm saying that
Hmm.
as an advocate for legal reasons. I'm saying that as an advocate because I want that to be clear that there's no connotation of my support for this other than the fact that I am an advocate for civil rights. The thing that I love the most about this bill. There's several other things. A lot of things have to do with like taxation, which if you look at the numbers from states that have within, I think Colorado, Colorado and Oregon were like the first two in the United States to be like, oh yeah, recreational marijuana. I'm done using the word marijuana. Marijuana, as I mentioned, is a term that was created as a racial with racial connotation.
Just
I'm
call
gonna
it weed.
continue. I'm gonna use cannabis now, the real term, as this bill would make law within the judicial system. It would no longer be used. You wouldn't use the word marijuana anymore within the judicial system. You would use the word cannabis. So I will use use the word cannabis from now on. But it would so the bill would impose a 5% tax on cannabis products and require revenues to be deposited into a trust fund. I don't know the specifics of that. I don't know if it's like a government trust fund, like with implications of like a larger pool, where that money's being divvied out to, or if it means more of an individual trust fund for like the states or potentially even the businesses. I don't know. So I didn't look into that part. You guys can do your own research. And then there was other like small business related pieces in the legislation, like tax related shit. Basically like um, the small businesses would be able to like get loans and stuff for cannabis related industries, dispensaries, production houses, yada yada. Um, but the thing that I love the most about this bill is that it would um, it would establish a process to expunge convictions and conduct sentencing review hearings related to federal cannabis offenses, and that's a big one. So if this bill passes the Senate and is signed into law, and honestly, I think I'll get in. I'm gonna pass what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna continue on. If this bill passes, it would expunge the records of cannabis offenders who are currently incarcerated within the United States, being
Awesome.
held behind bars, being held in prison for a drug offense, a victimless drug offense, whether that be use, possession, production. They have not hurt anyone. They have consumed a natural plant that grows, and they are incarcerated for that. And the bill would expunge their records and release them from incarceration. Not only is this great for communities, as in the potential. Uh, Speaking hypothetically, we can continue to go off of what we mentioned earlier with uh, drug offenders and incarceration being from lower economic uh, communities. So we could put families back together by expunging these records. We can also get more employees into the working economy to develop more tax dollars for the government, which is bullshit. We shouldn't be taxed on income, but that's another topic. Um, and it would also allow the government to stop wasting fucking tax dollars by imprisoning people that are not criminals. So
Does their record remain, or is the record erased as well? Their
no, so it'll
criminal
be
record.
expunged. The all cannabis related offenses would be expunged from their records.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um, and so the reason I got so fired up about an hour ago now, Devin. So I'm scrolling through my social media feeds and I follow Dan Crenshaw on on Twitter, and he is um, he's a U.S. representative for the second district of Texas. Big Republican guy, like you know, bleeds red, fucking huge right winger. Um, and I do I do agree with some of the things that he has tried to take to Congress, and he's a big supporter on gun rights, the Second Amendment, big Second Amendment guy in the United States, and everyone knows that I'm I'm a gun person because I'm a fucking do what the fuck you want with your life kind of person. Don't we shouldn't be controlled by government entities. Um, However, he posted a video on his Instagram feed talking about cannabis, and he talked about he had one quote in the video. So obviously, or it may not be obvious, but he's not a supporter of the MORE Act. He opens up the video with talking about how um, the House of Representatives and U.S. Congress is not focused on the right things right now. They are more focused on the MORE Act and the decriminalization of cannabis federally in the United States than they are at things that they should be more worried about is COVID relief. And that pissed me off immediately because the COVID relief shit has been on the table for like 2 months now. Like, like we could have had this up. Like, if we really wanted to fucking send through another fucking $2 trillion bill, like we did fucking 6 months ago, then the government would. They would fucking steal money from whatever other fucking entity in the world, or they would just continue to print all this imaginary money because that's all fucking currency is anyways. It's all fake. None of it fucking matters. So then they sign this bill. They send everybody a fucking $1,000 again. Like it's fucking dumb. It's a waste of everybody's fucking time. A G bar does nothing. $1,000 means nothing. That's not. That's my fucking rent for fuck's sake. Like thanks, G. Thank you so much for my 1 month of rent.
It's not even my rent.
And like like nobody's worried about another fucking COVID relief fund. We don't need to bail out we don't need to fucking bail out Walmart and Amazon again, or any fucking car dealership that hasn't sold more than 6 cars in a 30-day fucking span. We don't need to fucking do that. We don't need to bail out GM or Ford. We don't need
God
to bail out
forbid,
fucking small businesses.
God forbid Amazon makes, $100 less than their usual 10 billion a month.
And so then he wants to compare, or he wants to state that they're, and he's using they, and it's very well known that he's talking about the Democrats because obviously the Democrats are leading the charge on the Moore bill right now because for some reason we have uh, decided to divide so far in American politics during in our two-party system that we continue to use as the Democrats love cannabis for some reason. Like they're just like that's like a part of their platform now is oh we love cannabis even though they're all like a million years old and they've all fucking have probably been using cannabis since before it was illegal in the United States and then became illegal in the United States, and they're like everybody in the government. I couldn't even imagine like there's no way anybody within the United States government does not use any sort of controlled substance. You're telling me these people are doing their jobs without like cocaine? No way. No fucking way. Donald Trump, you're telling me President Trump doesn't like fucking wake up with a bump and a Diet Coke? No way. No fucking chance. So he's talking about how in the video, Representative Dan Crenshaw is talking about how we should be focused on a COVID relief fund. He then mentions how uh, marijuana is not the same today as it was back in the 1970s. Yeah, no shit. Neither is fucking alcohol. In the 1970s, people had Budweiser and fucking Miller Lite to drink. Like alcohol as has evolved. Like in the beer sector, I guess obviously back, for hundreds of years, you've had like whiskey and all the other bullshit, but those are controlled substances. Just as marijuana could also be a controlled, regulated substance from the United States, creating caps on THC levels that you could produce in plants. They could regulate the fucking amount in which a legal taxed business could distribute to a consumer, which is not done in the alcohol sector. However, I'm sure they'll fucking create all sorts of regulations and bullshit that make it seem like you're not even it's like it's still illegal, even though you can go to the fucking gas station and buy it.
That's
Um,
what we have here with all
th-
our cannabis shops. It's all
right.
regulated, it's all taxed.
hmm and
It's
so
just
then
like
yeah, he
it
makes
gets
it
treated like any other business, honestly.
right, right, as it should,
Yeah,
because it's. I hate it when people compare cannabis and alcohol together because alcohol has been legal in the United States. Well, I guess it was legal for a little bit in the 1920s. However, guess what people did? They kept fucking drinking alcohol. Prohibition of the 1920s concerning alcohol should be the the framework of the war on drugs and how poorly it failed United States citizens.
it's almost like making things legal doesn't prevent people from getting it.
No, just as actually decriminalizing something and making something legal will not encourage individuals to do it.
Hmm.
If they added into this more act, if it was a part of this act before it got voted on in the House today, and it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna decriminalize all substances. Like people can, yeah, like drugs, yeah, fine. You want to do them. Guess what? I'm not waking up tomorrow and finding some fucking crack. Okay, I'm not gonna go smoke meth just because it's legal all of a sudden. Like the government wants to act like we as citizens don't know how to just fucking live a normal goddamn life. Like we can't govern ourselves and our own individualities. If
Point.
somebody wants to go and do hard drugs today, they're gonna go fucking do them. It's not a matter of whether it's illegal or legal. It's clearly illegal. And guess what? People continue to do every day. Meth. Like
Hmm.
it's unbelievable that the government continues to try to regulate us and tell us what we can and can't do while failing miserably at it, and yet we, American taxpayers, are continuing to pay the fucking price for it.
Point in case, just with the whole, legalizing it or decriminalizing it is not gonna make everyone and their mother go out and do drugs.
No,
When we
if you
legalized,
don't use marijuana pre legalization, you're not going to use marijuana after it's legal, and
yeah,
somebody can go down the street to a store, buy some, go home, enjoy it as they would a six pack of beer or a bottle of whiskey. Like that's it. It's the exact same in my mind.
hmm,
And then he goes on in his little video to talk about, well, we need to think about how parents are going to confront their children about marijuana use. Okay, guess what? Confront your children about marijuana use the same way that you would confront your children about alcohol use. And then he goes on in the video and talks about using marijuana before the age of 26 can have uh he used some fancy words. I'm not a fancy word guy. To sum it up, he was like basically if you smoke pot before you're 26, it can fuck up your brain. Yeah, guess what? If you drink alcohol at a young age, it can deter the development of your brain. It's the same fucking thing. That doesn't mean that underage drinking isn't a thing. I
everything in
used to be
moderation.
underage. Guess what? I got fucked up all the time in high school off of alcohol. I turned out
Everything in
okay.
moderation.
But that's the thing is they don't ever want to talk about just using responsibly. You should use alcohol responsibly. Me, as I've gotten older, I don't use alcohol irresponsibly anymore. I know it's not smart. Believe me, I have had some bad nights, especially when I was in college, where, it was my alcohol consumption was dangerous. It was absolutely dangerous. Woke up the next morning and glad that I didn't hurt myself. But I was irresponsible. And you're supposed to use any sort of mind altering substance responsibly. However, in his little like 2-minute video on Instagram, he wants to talk about how, oh well, if you take an edible, it could take like an hour to hit you. Unlike alcohol, where you can control the amount that you're consuming. That doesn't make any sense. You can control the amount of THC that you're putting into your body. And then he further wants to go on into his video and say, well, when you eat an edible, you don't know how much THC you're consuming, which is false because if you buy any sort of edible from a dispensary, there are serving sizes on those edibles that then state how much THC is within the edible.
Hmm.
So you can absolutely control the amount of THC that you put into your body. Same as if you drink a beer that's 6% ABV, you know, hey, this beer has 6% alcohol in it. And if I drink, you know, 4 beers, it could be like the same as a shot of whiskey, which
Hmm.
is terrible math, and don't ever follow that because it's not true. And 4 beers will probably fuck you up more than one shot of whiskey. Personal experience, I'm not a scientist. Um, but like they want to talk about how you can't control the amount of THC that you're knowingly putting into your body. They want to talk about how it's detrimental to the children. We're always so fucking worried about the children. However, we just the children aren't gonna stand in my way of fucking human rights. Okay, because as fucked up as it sounds, consumption use is a human right because it's my fucking life, and I'm not gonna stand by and let the government regulate it. Um, it just it's irritating, and his video fucking irritated me because it was so ignorant in my mind because he wants to compare it to alcohol as if guess what, approximately 95,000 deaths occur in the United States each year due to alcohol related incidents.
That's a lot.
95,000.
Is that
95,000.
through like is that's including I'm presume driving under the influence and all that fun stuff?
I cannot answer that because this article that I have up from the CDC website, cdc.gov, it says excessive alcohol use is responsible for more than 95,000 deaths in the United States each year. So I don't know if that even includes drinking and driving,
It
which
might not.
is a which is one of the worst things you can fucking do. I hate people that drink and drive. It is the most irresponsible fucking thing that you can do in the world. And these legislators want to act like it couldn't be regulated in the same way as we have continued to regulate alcohol use. Whereas people are like, oh well, people are gonna smoke smoke cannabis or they're gonna use THC and then they're gonna drive their car. People do that shit with alcohol every fucking day. Every day. 261 deaths per day is what is estimated from the CDC for excessive alcohol use. And I would imagine that a handful of those are driving incidents
Hmm.
because it is such a problem in the United States. Drinking and driving is terrible, and people should not do it. It is dangerous. You can not only hurt yourself, if you decide to drink excessively and then get behind the wheel of your car, if you go and you fucking hurt yourself, I don't give a shit. You're a piece of shit. But the problem is that you go out, you get fucking popped, you get behind the wheel of your car, and then you fucking kill someone else on the road.
Yeah.
And that's what irritates me because it's so irresponsible and it's so fucking terrible because these irresponsible dick bags are ruining families. They're taking a mother away from a child. They're taking a child away from a mother. Those are
Yeah,
the
I've
fucking kids we
heard.
need to be worrying about. However, guess what? Alcohol continues to be within the United States with zero regulation of individual purchase or consumption. You can walk into a liquor store and you can buy 6 cases of whiskey. Nobody's going to bat an eye.
Oh yeah.
You can go and buy a whole bottle, drink it in an hour, kill yourself from alcohol poisoning. Nobody's going to fucking write a bill about how we need to start regulating alcohol consumption in the United States. You know why? Because the last time they did it, what did people do? They started brewing fucking gin in their bathtubs because people cannot be controlled by the government. However, we want to continue to compare alcohol and cannabis use as if they are one and the same. And if they are one and the same, then decriminalize it and let people consume substances at their free will. Because if somebody wants to consume a substance of any kind, they're going to do it.
Hmm.
The fact that we have to, it's 2020. The war on drugs has been going on for 50 fucking years. Yet, drug use continues to rise. Alcohol related incidents continue to rise. But there's only more regulation on substance use, whether that be cannabis, amphetamines, uh, fucking benzodiazepines, motherfucking. I'm forgetting all my other fancy words. Doesn't matter. But um, there's no outcry for alcohol regulation. We'll just keep selling it.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's one of the largest industries within the United States.
Oh yeah. It's like fucking
Just
it's like
as
fucking cigarettes,
cannabis,
right? It's like cigarettes.
yeah.
How much gross shit do we put in cigarettes, and yet that is
Hmm.
perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Perfectly
How many
legal.
how many fucking how many people die each hang on. Annual deaths from smoking. I type in annual deaths, the first result on Google is from smoking. Uh this is from the CDC again. More than 480,000 deaths occur annually, including deaths from secondhand smoke.
Wow. So that's even worse than alcohol.
It's more, yeah. And yet here we are worried about COVID?
Fuck.
We're worried about COVID? COVID? Yeah. I just it's so frustrating. I hate it because I just I don't understand how this is what we're talking about. Representative Crenshaw is 1000% correct. We shouldn't have our attention and our focus on the MORE Act or cannabis in general. We absolutely should be focusing on COVID because the MORE Act should have happened 20 fucking years ago. We shouldn't have to worry about it today while nothing has changed. We
Hmm.
have incarcerated more people for victimless offenses than anywhere in the world. We have wasted probably billions of tax dollars to incarcerate these individuals. We have probably caused millions of children to be raised without a parent because of these victimless offenses. And yet we continue to worry about the American people's free will to choose or not to choose to consume something in which they have full reign to decide for themselves if that's how they want to spend their life.
Hmm.
Unreal. So he's absolutely correct in his little video that he thought was going to get a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments talking about how right he was. I read through the comments. It took me about 10 comments in. The top 10 comments were all about, like, just to sum it up, uh, Representative Crenshaw, you're a fucking idiot. We need to stop wasting our money and our fucking time on cannabis problems in the United States and just legalize it already.
Hmm.
Like, this is his follower base. This is people that have chosen to click the little blue follow button underneath his post where he thinks he's so high and mighty and he wants to say, oh, we need to be worrying about a COVID relief fund. We don't need to be worrying about cannabis decriminalization right now. We need to be worrying about COVID. You're absolutely right. We do need to worry about COVID. But at the same time, why don't we worry about some other fucking basic civil rights? And I'm going to classify it as a basic civil right. There's a reason that the end of prohibition, the end of alcohol prohibition in the United States is an actual amendment. It started as an amendment for the prohibition and ended as an amendment making alcohol regulation, consumption, production completely legal again because it is a civil right. It is a human right to consume whatever the fuck you want to consume. We don't need people telling us how to live our lives. Sickening that we continue to have to live in a nation where we are being big brothered day to
Hmm.
day. I mean, I don't even have anything else to say. I hate. I'm so sick of it. I hate it.
I mean, that's not. No, I don't know what else there is to say. You've pretty much nailed it on the head. Hit the nail on the head there.
The the I'm gonna end this rant and we can move on to another topic. I'm gonna end it all with saying that the war on drugs is. Oh, I'm about to get spicy with it. I think I'm gonna
Ooh,
get real spicy with it. I'm gonna get real spicy
like
with it.
red hot
So
spicy.
spicy, hot tamale, spicy with it.
Ooh,
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna mean it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna mean it.
are we gonna get canceled again?
Oh, oh yeah, this one's gonna cancel us. Uh, the war on drugs is the government's Ku Klux Klan.
Ooh, ooh, I like it. I like it.
It's so bad. It's so bad, and the war on drugs was literally created as a suppression for minorities in the United States. It the war on drugs is the government's outward Ku Klux Klan, and yet we just continue to accept it. And it's bullshit.
It's an interesting
Absolutely
point.
bullshit.
Yeah, interesting way of putting it.
I hate it.
Hmm.
It's it has always been geared toward racial division. The war on drugs has been, and I don't want to sit here and here I am fucking privileged white dude talking about racial division in the United States. Whatever other satire fucking comment you want to make about it, but I hate it. Everyone knows I'm a fucking ally for civil rights, for human rights. And the war on drugs is the biggest offender of racial division in the United States.
I swear the government is only good at like just dividing people racially,
It
socially, economically.
always has been.
Like, what fucking good does the government do, honestly?
Uh, Absolutely nothing because they tax us, they imprison us, and then they regulate us.
And they watch
Those are
us
those are three of the worst
constantly.
things. Three of the worst things in the world.
Hmm.
The only thing worse than that is like fucking I don't know, hurting your back when you're sleeping, which has happened to me way more as I've gotten older. I feel like I'm 80. So old.
The only good thing about the government, both America's and Canada's, is that we can actually vote for whoever we want to rule us next. At least we're not
Well,
trying to.
can we though? Because I hear there's a lot of fraud going on in the United States right now.
Yeah, you never know.
Jesus,
You never
Jesus
know.
fucking Christ, dude. From
I'm
like
so over that.
day one, from like day one, it's all like, oh, there's so much fraud. No, 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 no. It's like, okay, honestly, what if there is? Like, I don't know. Like,
I just
the 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 world
I
the world
knew
would burn down
as
if
soon
the
as as soon as voting went into full swing, I knew they were gonna start throwing around the whole voter fraud thing. And honestly, I don't care. I
yeah,
don't care. They're
Well, okay,
both
time
old
out,
white
time out,
cunts.
time
They're
out,
it,
time out, time out, time out,
fucking
time out. No, you can't care regardless. You're not a United States
true,
citizen.
true. But like
I
fucking
will say that I'll say that I don't care because either way, it's not who I wanted. I didn't vote for either of
you voted for Kanye West, didn't you?
them. No, 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 no. I will say publicly that I did vote for Joe Jorgensen, uh the front runner for the Libertarian Party. Um, but that's because she wants to abolish taxes and not alcohol. Like
Interesting.
I I I voted for a third party candidate knowing damn well that my candidate wasn't going to win. But I also absolutely hate it when somebody, whether that be, a fucking Democrat or Republican, where they say, well, what are you voting for a third party for? You're just throwing your vote away and get it. A vote for a third party basically might as well be a vote for X, insert name here. A vote for them could be a vote for Trump. A vote for them could be a vote for Biden. No, a vote for the candidate that I'm voting for is a vote for them. Or I I feel more so that I'm expressing my voice as a voter when I'm actually caring more about the policies in which my candidate wants to go for, opposed to voting for a candidate that the country wants me to go for because they have an R or a D next to their name.
Hmm.
Because that's what voting has become. It's not about policies. It's not about character. It's about R and D. And
Red
that's
or blue.
and yeah, and as the United States continues to have that mindset, we will get nowhere in this country.
Hmm.
It's 2020 and one of the hottest topics within our election was still abortion. Roe v. Wade was in the 70s. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's over. Life's going on. Get your abortions. Let them happen. If you don't want one, don't fucking get one. If you want one, go fucking have one. Nobody cares because nobody cares about you. Like everybody thinks they're so goddamn special in this world. You're
Yeah.
not. You're insignificant. We're a fucking speck of dust in this universe for fuck's sake. We're like fucking Whoville on the goddamn dandelion.
Hmm. If
Like
honestly, it feels like with every presidential term with America, like
nothing
then
gets done. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
you don't go forwards, but you don't go backwards. It just
No, it just
flatlines.
stays. Yeah. I swear to Christ that like this is all a simulation. Like I'm literally I'm still in the fucking womb, I feel like sometimes. Because literally nothing changes. Nothing. I wake up, I continue to pay taxes, I hate it all. I hate the government. I hate myself. Like the I time out. I was fucking my 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 wife and we were watching this movie last night. It was called The Holiday. It was on It's on Netflix. It's actually pretty funny. It has Emma Roberts in it. If anybody knows who that is, um, she's an actress. Uh, there was this line from like the main guy, and I don't know who the fuck his name is, but he was like, the human body can live up to 120 years if you take care of it properly. And Emma Roberts' character was like, I think the end of my life is 40. You think I want 80 more years after 40? And I look at my wife, I was like, fucking same. Like, the people that want to live like forever, fucking insane. Like the people that are like, oh yeah, I believe in reincarnation because I'm gonna come back as a beautiful butterfly, and then I'm gonna live another life, and then I'm gonna have another life after that. Why the fuck would I want more than this life? This life sucks. Like, no. Okay, let me rephrase that. My
You
life
know,
does not suck.
there's a psychopath test, and it's like 20 questions. Bitch, all you need is one question. Do you want immortality or not? If you do, you're a fucking psychopath.
Excuse me. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck, I'm like 25, like, I don't know, like average life expectancy, like 73 for a man in the United States. It's like, god damn, I'm only a third of the way done. Like, fuck.
I'm 20 and I already can't even with this place.
Oh my god, dude, I am so old. You couldn't even drink in my country. You know how stupid that is?
That is
Like, if
unfortunate.
you came down to visit me for a week, like, we just hung out for a week, I couldn't even go to a bar with you.
Rip. If you came up here, though, we could go drinking. We could have gone
Well,
drinking two
yeah,
years ago.
yeah, I know. Because it makes sense.
Yeah,
Because at 18, you're an adult in the world,
yeah.
but you can't put alcohol in your body for 3 more years in the United States.
Fuck.
Oh, actually, not even just alcohol anymore. Well, at least in my state now. Um, I think it was last year, the state of Indiana passed a law where you have to be 21 years old to buy tobacco products now.
Oh. I feel like we mentioned this at one point in the
Probably
podcast.
because I thought it was fucking stupid. You know why? Because I started using tobacco products when I was 15 years old.
Yeah, this is where it goes back to the whole, fucking regulation and minimum age and oh, the children are gonna get addicted to the marijuanas. Like fucking every kid in there has an older brother who has had them try alcohol and try smoking, and it's fucking there's not much you can do about it. There's just not much you can do about it. If they have access to it, they're gonna try it, and they're either gonna like it or they're not. There's not much you can do about it. The best you can do is just fucking sit down with your kid and be like, "Hey, this is what this is. This is what it does. If you're gonna try it, don't be stupid about it." End of
Hmm.
story. Regulating stuff is just it's dumb. There is some level of
It's
smart regulation,
unsuccessful.
but like most of the time regulation is just it's dumb, it doesn't work.
I hate it. Nothing should be regulated. Absolutely zero. Let the world run wild, just for like a month. Like, let's experiment. It could be short, like temporary. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, we need the purge. No, no, no,
No.
no. But like, within reason.
Anarchy.
Like, let's just no, no.
Yeah.
That's purge. No, no
No,
anarchy.
not like not purge.
No,
We're not like
no.
not it's not like all laws are just,
However, I
abolished.
would be I would be curious to see. So, okay, hypothetical here. Hypothetical. Say that the purge took place. Do you think that like murder would go up? Like, do you really think that people
Honestly,
would just like go around and like kill people?
I
Like, you
feel
get
like
24. You get okay.
I
All
think
right.
okay,
Time out.
like I
Okay. Wait.
don't
Wait. Wait.
think it would
Let's
be
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
okay.
Purge happens. No laws. 24 hours. 24 hours. Like to the second. 24 hours. You kill someone?
No.
Yeah, because you're not a fucking murderer. No, no, no shit. Okay, like,
Like the thing is people picture like a purge in real life and they imagine like everyone and their dog going out and just murdering everyone they see. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
I think there
No,
would be
you know
like
what
a
you would see?
handful more murders than normal, but I think
No,
most of the
what you
most people would
what?
just go about their day like normal.
Well, I mean, people would definitely be like stealing TVs,
Maybe.
um,
But like
but like that's really what you
murders,
would get. You would get like people that like went and like stole shit. Like you would see a lot of I'm sure murder would happen because people are fucking crazy. You ever seen Black Friday videos from the U.S.? Uh, Talk about
true.
like they can just go steal shit for a whole day. Like the entire economy would be fucking wiped in like 24 hours because of all the theft that occurred, which would probably result in some murders. But I think just like going like leaving the house on a purge day, I don't think many people are really in their heads like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go fucking kill someone right now. No, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go steal a TV, and if somebody wants to fight me for it, I'll probably kill them. That's two different things. One's premeditated, one is not.
Hmm.
Um, but you could relate that. This is wild comparisons here, but you could relate it. If you legalized murder for a day, there wouldn't be a lot. There wouldn't just like be like sporadic murderers all over the place. So if you legalize cannabis or any other controlled substance, use isn't just going to shoot up because you can do it.
Hmm.
Alcohol is legal right now.
Like
People have
going
chosen
back to
whether or
that
not they want
whole
to consume it.
going back to the use spiking because it's legal thing. I just wanted to point out an example here. When we legalized cannabis in Canada, for like
Hmm.
the first couple weeks when the hype was there, sure, everyone and their fucking mother was out buying weed. But like
Right.
you look at it now, 2 years later, and it's just like you wouldn't even realize that it's legal. It's the
Right.
same as it always has been, except now
Yep.
you can't get jailed for it.
Yeah. It's not that, there's not still lines outside of dispensaries anymore. There's not people just like, you know, being all fucking like crazy in the streets, like making sure that everybody knows that they're smoking cannabis, like walking down the street.
Hmm.
Like it's just life's going on.
Yeah, we
And
fucking it happened. We were
yeah,
cool. We liked it, and now we moved on to
yeah,
the next thing.
yep.
Not much changed.
I mean, it's just so wild to me. Wild. And like this is what we have to talk about right now. Like this is the forefront of the United States government right now is cannabis legalization. As if there's not bigger problems that we need to worry about. And I don't say that to minimize. I think that cannabis legalization is a very big problem, and we need to talk about it, and we need to do something about it because I think it opens up the gates for a lot of things in a positive way in the United States, like the expungement of incarcerated individuals, the tax benefits in which the cannabis industry could create a legitimate revenue for the United States government on the state and federal level, and just like fucking let people live their lives kind of thing. So Representative Crenshaw is 1000% correct. We have bigger issues to talk about than the legalization of cannabis. However, US Congress has spent decades avoiding this topic that guess what? It's time to fucking talk about it. So that we can actually get onto the real issues, like I don't know, how the fuck we're gonna try and contain this widespread pandemic that has continued to close businesses on the local level, which has continued to cause citizens of the United States to be unemployed because their businesses that they are employed through close, or their businesses that they're employed through have to go through cuts and layoffs. Revenues are lost,
Hmm.
unemployment's going up, poverty's going up, homelessness is increasing, and now it's fucking flu season.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what now? Now what? Are flu numbers gonna go down? Like, is everybody just gonna get COVID now? Because you never know with fucking hospitals because oh man, I am just gonna go down a rabbit hole. Okay, we're done with COVID.
Yeah,
The
we've
shit
we've
that,
s- we've spent like 4 episodes on COVID. We
yeah,
can leave it in the
no,
dust now.
yeah. Well, actually, I tested positive for it a few weeks ago. I'm alive. It's nothing. It's fine.
There you go. There you go.
That's
First-hand experience, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
firsthand. Firsthand. Oh man, it's just fucking crazy. So now that the rains are over, anybody that's stuck around, probably nobody. Nobody even listened to this anyways. But what's new, man? How's Canada? How's Canada
Well,
land?
it's cold. It's winter time. so that's
Ah,
always good.
you getting a bunch of snow yet?
Not much here, just 'cause I'm on the west coast, so it only ever
Uh,
rains. But
yeah,
there's snow up on the mountains.
right,
Um,
right. We got a
but
little, we got a dusting of snow earlier this week.
uh, some
I mean a dusting. I mean it was like
like a
the
sprinkle,
like the like street medians like had snow on them, but like nothing else.
like someone spilled some sugar.
Yeah, yeah. Like I had some frost on my car, and then like some grass had a little bit of snow on it, but it wasn't much. Yeah,
I guess
it's getting
Indiana's
cold though.
a fairly northern state.
Yeah, our cold months really don't hit until like January, February though. Like December can be cold, but we don't normally have like, a white Christmas or anything. It's normally just like cold. We don't get like crazy snowstorms.
Hmm.
Like the big thing for us is like in like January and February, we can get some pretty nasty wind chills.
Oh yeah,
So like wind temperatures can get to like, -20
yeah.
in the wind, like in like the dead of the winter.
The
But we
worst
don't.
the worst places here for winter are like in the prairies, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. That's where like you
Okay.
get like the really bad like fucking minus 50 degrees Celsius type winter. And that
Oof.
is in Fahrenheit, that would be
It'd be like 38, isn't it?
something like that. Yeah. Double it and add 32. That's the conversion, I think. So,
Wait, what?
I don't know. I've always told that to convert to Fahrenheit, just double it and add 32.
How the fuck would you double -50?
Negative 50, negative 50 would be uh hang on.
Negative
High
100?
school.
And
No,
then add
it would be
32? That
pause.
doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Don't worry about it. It's
Hang on. I got it. Celsius to Fahrenheit. There we go.
maybe
Minus
it's to Fahrenheit to
50,
Celsius. Let's
minus
double it.
58 that'd be Fahrenheit. Minus 50 Celsius would be minus 58.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you were close. You were close on your conversion. So you take your Celsius number. So uh we'll say 10 just for ease. So
Yeah.
10 Celsius times 9/5.
So it's not
And
exactly
then
10.
yeah, so you take that. So it's like X times 9/5. So yeah, that'd be like 1.87 yada yada. Is that?
I'm going to pretend that you were right.
I feel like I'm close
I've been out of
enough.
high school for 2 years. I don't have to do math anymore.
Wait,
Okay.
9/5. 9/5. Maybe it's 9/5. Fuck, now I gotta figure this out. Now I just damn fucking Google's coming in clutch tonight. Uh,
We're
nine
adults. We don't have to do fractions.
9/5. 1.8. I'm a fucking idiot. Duh. 1.8.
Isn't that's what you said originally was 1.8. Then you tried pulling out
No,
this
I
rant
said I said
fucking
1.87. I,
so
I
you
added a 7 onto it. I
uh,
was close. I'm just an idiot. I got a D in math in college. Don't worry about it. So like X times 1.8, and then after that multiplication problem, you add 32.
okay.
Yeah. So like 10 times 1.8 would be 18, and then add 38.
Cool.
Yeah. So
We've solved that issue.
yeah. So then minus 50 times 1.8 would be um yeah, minus 50 times 1.8. What is that?
Minus 70.
Oh, but oh wait. No, I think it'd be like it'd be it's a weird number. -50 times 1.8 minus 90.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah. And then you add the 32, and so then you get minus 58.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's your math lesson on tonight's episode of Going Topicless. Um, yeah, no. So work's good. You still running the
Yes,
trains?
I am. Yeah,
Oh shit.
that's the funny thing about why we were kind of off the podcast for 3 months. Like
Yes,
we
I
we
know.
ended the
We
last episode.
okay. Anyway, I want to
We were
clear
going to
things up real
commit.
quick.
We were going to commit to a proper schedule, and then like
So
the
we
next week
did.
I get called back to
We
work.
committed. No, we committed. Problem was that we both went back to work.
Yeah,
And I want to make that clear. Was we committed? Okay, but then he went back to work, and then I got a job. Um, and it's tough out here.
yeah.
Balance. I'm married now. Like I
We're
just,
both on the
we
grind, you
get
know.
busy. Yeah, we got fucking taxes to pay
Yeah,
because
gotta
the
pay
government's a
rent.
bunch of bitches.
Fuck.
But yeah, no. Yeah. So
Speaking of
how's the train
grind,
business? Just
uh,
rolling along?
yeah, keeping things moving, keeping the stores full of toilet paper. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm noticing in the last week or two that some of my local shops are pretty low on the toilet paper again. I really
I'll be
thought that
sure
we
to
were over
send
the
some
toilet
your
paper
way.
thing. I mean, I'm not having trouble necessarily finding it. I'm just noticing that like the shelves are becoming bare, like almost like first month of COVID bare, which
Hmm.
again I don't really understand because I kind of would have thought that a lot of people would realize that like COVID doesn't just make you shit all the time. Um, I don't understand like the
Ours
infatuation
our
of
stores have
like
actually
buying a
put
bunch of
on
toilet paper.
our stores actually put in like regulations on certain products that went out fast at the start of COVID. So stuff like
Yeah.
toilet paper, you're now only
Yeah.
allowed to take one
Same,
at a
same. No,
time.
absolutely same. Yeah, no, same. A lot of my shops, a lot of the stores around me have limits on that kind of stuff as well. It's still just like not on the fucking shelves. I
Interesting.
swear to Christ, there's just like people that every time like they probably I feel like they go to the store even if they just go like once a week. Like last week they bought a 48 pack of fucking toilet paper. Then they go back the next week they buy another. It's like why are you buying so much toilet paper? How much are you shitting? How much? How much are you shitting? Because you need to go see a doctor. Not about COVID, but about your bowels.
You know, the funny thing is with the initial toilet paper shortage, right? Is there
Mhm.
wasn't even a shortage. It was just some like joke post on Reddit or some shit when the whole COVID thing went down. Someone was
No,
saying, "Oh, if COVID starts to get really bad, then China's going to shut down all their toilet paper industries. That's where we get toilet paper from. So we're going to have a toilet paper shortage." And everyone
do we get
freaked the
toilet
fuck
paper
out.
from China?
I think most of it comes from China. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
So
have thought that.
everyone freaked the fuck out and started stockpiling on toilet paper, which in
Dang.
turn
So you just like
caused the
wipe.
shortage, right? There was no shortage. Everyone just freaked out. It's one of those
Yo,
self-fulfilling
how many?
prophecies.
All right. Speaking of toilet paper, let me put a wild thought into your mind. How many people? Okay. How many people do you think touch your roll of toilet paper before you wipe your ass?
That is an interesting question.
Hmm.
Like like before it gets packaged and sent to the stores and sent to my shelf. Or do you mean like including when it's in the packaging?
No, no package. If it's in the plastic wrap, that it's safe. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But like before, like from factory to package, how many people touch your roll of toilet paper?
I don't even know what the process goes into
I don't
making
either. I
toilet
don't either. I
paper.
just want a number. I think it's
Uh,
funny.
5. I'm gonna say
I was gonna say
5.
6. I was gonna say 6, but yeah,
Interesting, yeah.
yeah. I think it's somewhere
Because I
around there.
feel like if
You're gonna you
mhm,
gotta have a roll guy,
mhm,
like the cardboard roll. There's got to be a roll guy, like somebody that like I don't know, like puts it on like a machine,
Yeah.
like I'm envisioning like this
I mean, well,
giant like
also consider that
steel
like
dildo looking shape thing that you like put the fucking cardboard uh holder into. Like this guy's he's all day he's just like fucking jerking off this like one steel dildo with like fucking cardboard cutouts, and then this like toilet paper arm where it's just got like the roll, it just like jabs the fucking it just like jabs the fucking cardboard roll, and then when the roll's done he throws it onto the next guy who then expects the roll,
you
and he's
know,
like,
there's
okay,
also
cool,
you've also
and
got the
then there's
guy
a
who's
double
gonna,
check.
stack it for packaging, right?
Yeah,
We've
that's the
also got to
last guy though. I
consider
think that's the
too
last
the
guy.
raw materials. Someone's got to get the raw materials. All right, they'll go
So
into
what
making the toilet
is it?
paper.
Okay. All right. Wild question here, because obviously it's paper of some sort. But
Yes.
like, oh man, we're into. Okay, now we're
Well,
thinking about real
no,
things
toilet
here.
paper is mostly cotton, isn't it? It's
Wait,
cotton.
what? What?
It's cotton, right?
What? Is it
I'm pretty sure it is.
cotton? That doesn't seem very like septic safe.
I'm gonna fucking Google this. Google
Google
this.
that, because I don't know. I have no idea
What
the process of toilet
is
paper.
toilet paper made of? There we go.
I'm gonna start calling it. I'm gonna start calling it toilet cotton if that's the case.
Toilet paper is made from virgin wood fibers. So
Wood. I told
only
you, it's not cotton.
only the finest of virgins, or a
So
combination of
they
recycled
so
paper pulp.
toilet paper is made of the Devon trees. Damn. I'm speaking a big game, like, I've had sex with more women than just my wife.
Nah, you're fucking you put a fucking a collar and a
Ring
leash
on
on
it,
that
man.
bitch.
Hey, yo. Hey.
Not like your wife. I mean like
Hey.
your
My
member.
virginity? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
No disrespect. No disrespect to the woman of the house, okay?
About came through this mic. I was like, I didn't talk to you recently enough for you to be saying that. No. Oh yeah, my dick? Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. It was imprisoned for cannabis use.
And on that bombshell, this has been an episode of Going Topicless. It has been 3 months. It will probably be another 3 months until the next one.
I hope
Um,
not.
hopefully not. No.
No, I'll come back next week.
All right, bet. Um,
We just need a new schedule. We'll get a new schedule.
we said that last time.
No, we didn't. We were on our schedule last time, and then you went back to work.
True. True. Well, I don't know.
We're just gonna have to record on like Friday nights.
Hopefully, yeah. The problem is with my schedule's usually unpredictable, but
Yeah, I know. Damn trains.
fucking CN
Hey, now,
calling me to
chill out.
work. How
Chill
dare
out.
they call
Chill
me
out.
to get paid?
Don't. Hey, don't talk like that about the company that signs your checks, G.
I
Not a
mean,
good
they
look.
scammed me fucking last week, but that's a topic for another day, I think.
All right, we'll talk about that next week after you have some time to cool off about
Yeah, once I got it sorted, then I'll go into the full rant mode.
it. All right,
Anyway,
brother. Sign it
uh,
out.
all right. That has been an episode of Going Topicless. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and share it with your friends so we can get more popular. Until next time, stay safe, smoke weed, finish school, have a wonderful night.
But
Peace.
also, don't do any of those things because we don't want to encourage you how to live your life.
Yes, you're free to make the choices uh, that you want to make. Don't let the government tell you what to do. Unless it gets you in jail, then, try to maybe stay on the down low.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't go to jail.
No.
It's not a good idea.
All right, we're gonna go now.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.